okay, in the group, people hit me in my DM and they ask me, they want to find out how much they should or make offers for and how much their assignment fee should be. So this video is going to show people how to come up with their assignment fee and a quick way to do comps from Zillow. And I know Zillow people, we always say don't use Zillow for comps because it's not the Zillow is not accurate, but we're not using Zillow Zestimates. We're not using Zestimates. I'm going to show you how to find comps using Zillow. So let's go and dig in. Okay, so here's a property that I have copied and pasted, 1220 Gray Avenue. So when we go to 1220 Gray Avenue on Zillow, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to put it into here. Now when you come to Zillow, what you're going to see is this right here. It's going to be red. It's going to have, I already had it on sold, so I'm just going back. It had, so what you'll do is you'll change it from for sale to sold. And if you look on the right hand side, these are all sold, these are all for sale. They're on the market. They're not sold properties. So what we want to do is we want to get sold properties. So when you're looking for comps, you want the sold properties. So we have the sold properties here, but I don't want to go, looking through here. So what I do is I search the property and I want this page to come up. So when I get to this page, what I do is I see that this property was sold for $329, and that's on the high end. Grass looks good, and I want to see. There's no pictures. A lot of times pictures come up if it was on the market, and it'll show if it was rehab, then it'll have the nice hardwood floors, and you see the paint in the kitchen, bathrooms done. So what I do is I look at the sold price, $329, and I scroll down to the price and tax history. Once I come to the price and tax history, I look at, the first thing I see is it was sold for $329, and right below that it was purchased. It was sold for $160. So this is telling me that this was a fix and flip because it was bought in March of 2019 and it was sold 5 months later. Well, it was put on the market 5 months later for $329.9. So this is telling me this is what investors are paying, or this investor paid for. So if this investor paid for this property $160, I believe that I can get $160 for a 3-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, around 1,200 square foot house in this area. So now if I'm looking to make $20,000, then I know that I would have to make an offer at $140 for this property. So this is a quick way to find out what investors are paying, so you don't have to guess what your assignment fee should be or how much you should offer, because you just take $20,000 off the $160 and offer $140. Now, when you make an offer, I wouldn't suggest making an offer for $140 because the seller is most likely going to come back with a counter offer. Whatever your offer is, they're going to say, give me a little more. So you have no room for negotiation. So your first offer would be around $125, $130. That way, if your max offer is $140, you have some room to come back up a little bit. You can always come up on your price from an offer, but it's hard to make a high offer and then try to get it down. So just remember that when you're making offers. So we know this is $160. Now let me show you how to find the comps. This went for $329. That's a comp. It was sold. So we're going by this. This was sold in October. We're going saying this. We're just using this house for reference. So $329 You want to find comps to this house here. So what you would do is, just say you was looking to purchase for 140, you're looking for comps. You found a house that sold for 329, and you came down, and here are all, not all, but on the side it has properties that has been sold. 3-bed, 2-bath, don't have the square footage, was sold for 330. This sold for 335. This sold for 345. This sold for 320 and 330. Now this is a 4-bed, 2-bath, so this is a 3-bed, 3-bath, 3-3. So we're looking for 3 beds, 2 baths, around the same square footage. 3 beds, 2 baths, around the same square footage. And the higher comp is 345. Okay, great. So we got 329. We got a higher comp at 345, 3-bed, 2-bath, around the same square feet. So we want to look at that. Now we got pictures for this property, and we see that it's been rehabbed. Great. Got the hardwood floors, nice kitchen. Look like it's staged. They staged the place, and it has a back deck. Okay. So 345, same thing. We want to go down. We're going to look at the price and tax history. And we see that this property sold for 210. Okay, so now we got buyers that's buying between 160 and 210. Now that's a big spread. So just imagine if you got this property for 140, or any property for 140 that you can turn around and sell for 210. That's a $60,000 spread right there. So now we have between 140 and 200. If you wanted to make 10,000, you would offer 200. It's a little high. That, you know, it's tight. The spread would be tight. But if you got something for 140, hey, you can put it back out at 210, 200, and see if someone bites. That's your wish price. So you put it out at your wish price. And if nobody, within 2 or 3 days, if nobody, bites on it, then I would suggest that you lower your price. But you have room to lower it, and that's just the spread between 160 and 140. I mean 140 and 200. Somebody bought this, an investor, because you can see that they bought it 12/2018, and just about 4 or 5 months later, they put it back on the market for 359. Now they actually sold for 345. They held it for about 3 months after that and sold it for 345. So that looks like most likely it was a fix and flip based on the price they bought it at, and how fast they sold it, and how much, and how they fixed it up, how they rehabbed it. So that's how you look at the properties and get the price to what you want to offer. Now, another thing is, if you want to keep going higher, now we saw that we had 329 for the first property. We had a higher price, a property that sold for 345. Now, you go down here and look at these comps of sold properties compared to the 345. Now they're higher. They're at 376, 359, 366, 37, 369, 329. So now the comps are getting higher. So this is a way to use Zillow to try to get higher comps and just keep following, the other property. So this is also a 3-bed, 2-bath, around 1,200 square feet for 376. So you click on that, and we see that this sold for 376. And now that's higher than the 329. It's higher than the previous property. And you do the same thing. Go down, price, tax history. Go down, and we see that this one was sold 12/18 for 175. So now that's telling me that a buyer, an investor, bought that for 175. So we have a property in that area that sold for 160 to an investor, 175 to an investor, and 210 to an investor. So that area is pretty good for wholesaling, because the spread from what investors are paying from 160 to 200, 210 is a nice spread. If you can get a property for 140, 150, you can make somebody buying 3 beds, 2 baths, 175. You can at least make 20, 25 off of this area. So that's what we're looking at, what investors are paying, and just looking at that and saying, if you want to make 20,000, then you would offer 155. And like I said, you would make a lower offer to give room for negotiation. So if you want to make 25, you would offer 150. And that's how you make fast offers to owners. Now, we don't know what the rehab is. We just know what the investors are paying, and that's really what we need to know. And if you get something that's really bad, the investors will let you know and say, you know what, it needs a lot of work. I'll give you this much. They may try to have you come down some. Maybe you don't make 25. Maybe you make 20. Maybe you make 15. But they're paying 175. But that's how you can make quick offers, and without going, okay, how much is the ARV on this property, to subtracting 30%, to subtracting rehab costs, which you don't know, to how much I should subtract my fee for. So this is a fast way, and then that's how much I should make my offer for. But this is a fast way just to look at the properties that's rehab and go on Zillow, look at what they purchased the property for before they rehabbed it and flipped it. It's not going to always be that simple. Sometimes the price is not down there, but once you find the properties, it's easy and simple, and you can do it that way. And this is another way, while you're doing that, helps you get comps for the property, because now we know that the properties are going between the mid 30s, the mid 300s to 375 to not the high, the low to the mid. I would say low to the mid to keep it conservative. The low 330, the high like 350, 375, and now you know what the comps are for 3 beds, 2 baths, around 1,200 square feet in this area. So that's how you can find it out in your area also.